How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. As the thumbnail suggests, the discourse with Stellar Blade, which is actually a good game. Game of the year material? Probably not from what I've played yet, but it is a good game and it is worth your time. And if you are interested in those difficult combat battles, the difficult bosses, I mean, it does have a story mode for those that want an easy mode. But if you are interested in, just what looks like an okay story and good gameplay, good skill tree, pretty straightforward, this is actually a pretty good game to actually get yourself stuck into. It's not for everyone, and I'm not saying it is, but if you are a fan of the Nier Automata series, well, when I say series, it's only one game, you may want to check this out. There is a demo online, and it's worth playing. The final product is a little better, more polished, and more up to date, and a little more responsive, especially when it comes to the parrying, although it's not perfect, and that is my biggest issue with the game. But I'm going to have that, my overall thoughts and feelings for Stellar Blade in about a week's time once I've finished the game. But the drama today is, of course, around censorship, and a lot of people are having a huge problem with this. Now, we've seen, people coming out like Nibs saying it doesn't matter if they lie to you, they never promised anything to you. They actually did. They came out, they fully rode that train of the sexualization of the character. Sony did. I mean, I don't blame Shift Up for this at all, to be honest, but as we're about to see, it may actually be something else entirely. Now, I don't believe this is totally censorship, personally, but things are getting out of hand. Now, of course, if you want to support what I do and help me, grow the channel, do hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that like button. Let's get on with the video. Right, so as you can see here, this is beyond cringe, right? This is damn right embarrassing. Now, you've got Grumz, who has seemingly found a bit of fame now with the whole SBI thing. He's trying to spearhead it with Kabrutsu, or whatever his name is. Now, he's kind of trying to bandwagon his, popularity with Kabrutsu, especially with the SBI stuff, and now trying to get, in with that and build his fame through this sort of means. First it was SBI, now it's this. I mean, Grumz is a piece of shit. We all know he is, but it seems like he's finally found his calling, because his followers and his online social cred has been increasing due to constant negative posting. It says it's only been an hour and we are up to 1,300 signatures. We need 100,000 to make a difference, as we have these printed and shipped to Sony. Shift Up. Sign today and free Stellar Blade. So that's what he's doing, right? And you've got this petition over here. They need 100k, but good luck to them with this. I think this is beyond cringe. I think this is beyond sad. And honestly, I'm pretty sure this dude hasn't even got any intention of playing the game. He goes over here. Here's the plan. Everybody fights. Nobody quits. We get Sony to change it back. Shift Up knows Stellar Blade fans aren't happy. Let's get Sony to wake up and let them change it back. He doesn't know jack shit, by the way. He absolutely knows jack all. And he's just making all this up because he's trying to rally a propaganda campaign against Sony and Shift Up. Now, obviously, Sony is at fault here, or whoever, it was either Sony or Shift Up, because they came out and said globally this version of the game is not going to be censored at all. And if you make that statement publicly, then you cannot go around and changing things that people have seen, regardless of what it is. I mean, even if it isn't the bunny suit, the amount of blood and gore that's in the game has been toned down. Now, whether that's a creative decision or not is irrelevant. The fact is, it has been toned down, and people have been buying it based on the promise. At least some of them. And those people that have been, in my opinion, should be entitled to a refund, but Sony's policy states if the game isn't broken, you are not entitled. Let's start making the change we want. I think Grumz is pretty sad with this one. You've got Paul Tassi here who steps in. This has gone from mildly amusing, which I thought it was at the beginning because people were just being, stupid, annoying, to just deeply sad. And as you can see here, he's looking at the Grumz thread again, but this is the part that is like crazy, right? I am search banned on Twitter. Thank God for that. Like an NSFW tag artist get. Even though I don't post not safe for work. This is likely to anti-Grumz forces falsely mass reporting me for likely Stellar Blade images. You know what? Good shit. and triggering automated responses that limits people searching for my tweets. You're a negative influence to society. You shouldn't. I mean, people constantly talk about people having a negative impact on society. This guy is one of them. All he is a full-on grifter. He does nothing but grift. Help me get excellent support to reverse it. No, no one wants this. For now, only direct links to my Twitter will work, so you have to post a link when you start spreading the battle plan. Like, he's already trying to... He thinks he's at war. Man, this guy is completely bonkers. I hate to be blunt, but if you cancel your pre-order, you hand the journalists and everyone making fun of Stellar Blade a huge win. Like, what? They want it to fail. No one wants it to... I mean, they want this campaign to fail, yeah. But no one wants the game to fail. The game is good. Shift Up deserves your money. The game is good. I think it's a good game. They want to write about how mad you are. And they are going to write how sad you are. Instead, we're going to have them write about how we change. You're not changing shit. But, I don't normally agree with Yimnis. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But... this point here is pretty on point, right? Great game and haven't played it myself. How can you say the game is great, but you haven't played it? And, Cabrutus, who originally is a SBI de facto kind of, I created the curator group. That is all I'm doing. I do nothing else. Just the curator group. I spread no more hate. Speak with your wallets. Now he's turned around and he's going after everything else because he actually has a decent platform with a decent amount of followers. Now he believes that he can actually escalate and go after other people and other things. I'm really hoping this backfires on him and he actually gets a dose of rude awakening. Because, you'll see down here, like, people... Imagine being friends with Grums. I mean, like I said, him and Grums are now kind of trying to co-lead this. What happened to voting with your wallet? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? This has got nothing to do with SBI. This is not your fight. Then you've got people like this, Chris Roberts, who's turning around saying, I am done with PlayStation and this censorship. I paid for Shift Up's version of Stellar Blade, not your censorship. I think this is actually a valid point. This here is a valid point, right? They paid for the version that was advertised. They paid for the version that was shown. Images, everything, the over-sexualized version of Eve, that is what they paid for. Regardless of whether you think that Pornhub exists, and they probably have that on speed dial. Whether you think hentai exists, and they've probably got a ton of that on their mobile phones while they're upstairs jacking away in their closet, right? Just in case their parents walk in. That's irrelevant to everything. The bottom line is, the game was advertised in a certain way, Sony pushed it in that way, even said that the game would be completely uncensored, or whether it was Shift Up, and then things changed. So whether this person's clearly posted this, and then they've gone back straight away, and they've resubscribed, because they're not going to be without their Sony overlords. But it gets worse, right? People now, like this God James, is doing mental gymnastics. They went and bought the physical version of the game, deleted the game off their PS5, then they went online. Well, they took their PS5 offline, put the disc in, and the version 1.0 runs. So for those of you that want to play it without any form of censorship, if you call it that, because as we're about to see, I don't think it is censorship. But as you're about to see, you can actually do this. Go buy the game physically and you can actually do that. Just don't connect your game online. And when you do connect it online and it downloads the update automatically, go into the settings and delete the update. That's it. You delete the patch. And happy days, and you get the version. Obviously, you're not going to get any of the performance updates. You're not going to get the New Game Plus. You're not going to get the changes and tweaks that they've done along the way. But you're going to get the raw version that was on the disc. Now, of course, this one over here says, Stellar Blade was one of my eagerly anticipated games of 2024. It was mine too, and it still is, because it reminds me so much of Nier Automata. And for those of you that decided to jump into my YouTube channel last night while I was streaming the game and calling me all sorts of names for no reason whatsoever, thinking I'm going to sit there and trash a game because it's on an opposite platform, you are mentally disturbed. I am a gamer and gamer first. Yes, I prefer my Xbox. Yes, I prefer my PC. But at the end of the day, if a game is good, I am going to play it. And if Sony hadn't given me a review copy, I would have purchased the game. I'm still considering buying the game because there are certain games that I actually want to own. And Nier Automata being one of my favorite games of all time, this game ticks that itch until Yoko Taro decides to make a sequel. So I'm probably going to buy this physically as well. So for those of you that think I'm just going to shit on a game because it's on PlayStation, grow up. Anyway, but this person here is saying, but then upon release of one of you decided to censor a game publicly announced uncensored in all regions. Lies, you lied to us all. So, this is why I said they have a right to be upset. The actual cover-up stuff, there's a bigger, in my opinion, reason for it. But we have this over here, right? So I'm going to play this now. And let's just listen to what Jaffe said, because he's actually correct, right? He's actually correct.
But okay, so who knows why? But here's why I don't think it's a problem. Which is, cause this is in the game. This is in the game, man. You can't tell me that some Puritan overlord at Sony or Shift Up came down from on high and said, no more sexy time in our games. Get rid of a little bit of cleavage, but this is okay? Come on.
But there is a clear point here, right? How can you allow this and then turn around and say that they are censoring the game? If they were censoring the game, legitimately censoring it, none of this would exist. This skin suit wouldn't even be in the game. It would be completely and utterly removed. The fact that this exists in the game clearly tells you that the decision to remove or change certain things is not censorship material. It's not censorship. I don't believe it. Now, he does go on to show some other stuff over here. Let's just fast forward it over here.
We're dealing with, they also did it here, right?
So this is weird, right? So this is pre-patch and this is post-patch where they've given her tights. I actually prefer the tights. I'm more of a stockings person myself. So that's actually a win for me rather than a loss. But each person to their own, right? Each person has their own kinks. Anyway, but, there's that.
Her legs are covered up here. That's a little harder to explain away in terms of like her nipples, unless her nipples are on her knees. She's an alien. You be quiet now. The one I don't like, though, that I can't explain away as much as this. I mean, it could have been a creative choice, but...
So this is the problem, right? This is the one that I do have a problem with. Out of everything, this actually looks pretty damn cool. The way that blood splatter is all over her, now this is obviously her skin suit, but the way that blood splatter just covers her body and kind of encapsulates it when the first boss, explodes when she finally defeats it, that looks amazing. And it looks a hell of a lot better than this, right? That to me just looks miles better than this. It just looks like the way it exploded. Now, obviously, the images aren't one-to-one, or maybe they are one-to-one. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it doesn't look one-to-one, but maybe there's, a frame difference and it's caused the blood to come off because it doesn't stay on the character. So maybe there are other reasons for this, or maybe it's just not an accurate one-to-one depiction. But this, to me, looks better than this one. That, in terms of censorship, I get. But this, I'm not getting. I'm not. I mean, sure, there's that, and I get it, and they've added the lace. But, for those of you that don't know, this happened some time ago, right? Honkai Impact 3rd removes bunny suit in global server after Chinese player outrage. This was actually a massive outrage caused on Honkai Impact 3rd, where certain characters who have a special meaning in Chinese folklore were depicted in wearing Chinese bunny outfits, and they found it deeply offensive and deeply disrespectful. Now, it got completely removed from the game. They looked quite good, to be fair, the outfits, but I can understand how this is deeply offensive and a problem. Just like how the hard R situation happened and a lot of people got offended and disrespected, this could easily be the same situation here, where it's offending someone from the CN community. But no one is taking a step back to decide, to look at this from an objective perspective. It has to be censorship. It seems like the culture of something only applies one way, but the moment you want to talk about someone else's culture, it just doesn't work. one is wrong, so is the other. Now, I'm not saying that this is the exact reason. It could potentially be completely a million other reasons, or it could just be Sony being shitlords, right? Complete shitlords and actually censoring it. It could be. But this exists, and this happened on the 3rd anniversary. People from China actually went to the head office of Hoyoverse with a knife to kill the board members, right? This actually happened because that's how deeply offended they were by this whole action. And it wasn't so much to do with the game, but it was so much as how it deeply offended the culture of the deities that were being represented by these characters. Now, Eve obviously isn't a deity, but you get the point. It seems this bunny suit has a much bigger significance going over in CN, in China, than it does in other areas of the world. And this could easily be a reason. If they're going to patch it in one, they're going to do a global patch. It's not just going to be in one area. But, then you've got this one over here. And I'm just going to mute this because I don't care about it. But this dude over here is trying to show how it was before, and that's fine. Only the front has been changed. But they are sitting here, live on stream, doing this. I think this is pretty sad, right? I was joking about it yesterday, but that is pretty sad to be doing live on stream. But aside the point, the actual backside of the costume hasn't been changed at all. So all they're doing is showing you here what hasn't changed from the outfit. There you go. Whoa. There you go. My points are correct. I heard the Chinese dress is censored on disc too. There you go. So I was actually on the right track. It is to do with the Chinese version of the game. I didn't actually see that until literally now recording it live. I heard the Chinese dress is censored on disc too. So it's likely related to something religious. But no one cares about this because fuck China, right? Fuck their religion, fuck their moralities, fuck their kind of things. All we care about is what the Western market thinks. But the moment something else happens in the Western world, like hard art or crime art, everyone loses their shit and things have to change for the better. But if something has to change because it's a CN proverb, or sorry, not a proverb, but because it's a CN cultural thing, who cares, right? It's the censorship, it has to change. Just like the hard R situation was a bad thing, this is also a bad thing. And if that is the case, my point stands, right? But you've got someone over here. Look how crazy this has gotten, right? This is not a strong argument. It absolutely does not matter if the developer has a problem with this. If someone killed your mother, are you okay with it? Do you think it should be okay just because you are okay with it? The act of censorship deceptions are wrong. My dude is comparing this to someone killing your mother, your parents. Now, this is how twisted and psychedelic and just mentally deranged these people are, right? They've lost it. But I stand corrected. Because if this is what is being said, then it's clearly something to do with the CN culture. And that is why it was removed. And that should be respected, not criminalized. Now, the other aspect of it, this you have a valid point. You have a valid point. That's my thoughts on it. You let me know. Now, I wasn't being disrespectful to anyone. Now, this, you have a valid point. Now, of course, if this is bogus and it isn't cultural, which it was at the time, I remember reading about it because I am a gacha player. And from seeing this, it's removed off disc as well. That means that this whole thing that's being done over here in regards to this suit is pretty much on point with what I was saying, right? It's pretty much on point with what I was saying. I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion. But at the end of the day, I think this has been blown out of proportion. The fault of Sony is the fact that they made that announcement that everything is going to be uncensored. But if this is a cultural thing, which it looks like it is, why is it such a big problem? Just like people came into my stream and were telling me, because I had no idea what the word hard R actually meant, I actually thought it was mental capacity. I genuinely didn't, and they started accusing me of lying. So does this mean all of you actually knew that the bunny suit, which we discussed yesterday in my stream, is actually a cultural negative in China, and is actually seen offensively, does this mean you all knew this and decided that you are, okay with disrespecting a whole nation's culture? I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Again, I'm not saying I am for censorship, but there are times where this kind of goes beyond censorship. And I think this is one of those reasons. When you got that in the game, you have to question, how can that be allowed in the game and not the other one? How can you allow this in the game and not the other one? I mean, this is literally showing you pretty much almost up to a butt crack. And if she turns around, you've got the camel toe at the front as well. If you don't know what that means, Google it. But you pretty much can see the camel toe. And that's not censored. And just a tiny bit of cleavage here is going to be censored. And you think that that's literally the sole reason for that was censorship? Please. Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I know this video went for a little longer than it should have. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. And I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.